Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Todd Mizzle. You watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing the season finale of season 5, Real Housewives of Potomac season, and it's decked the halls with drama. I am so happy this season has ended, and today was the last episode because I am so done with the season. This has been my most disliked season of Potomac. I had Joy Potomac. Potomac was my best Real Housewives. I was always looking forward to Potomac. Since Potomac came on, I used to watch Atlanta a lot. Atlanta started getting boring. So when Potomac came on, it was a breath of fresh air. Now Salt Lake City is doing good as well. So, but Potomac was good. They had no fights. They had arguments. That's a whole Housewives. Most I don't watch the other Housewives, New York, New Jersey, Orange County, Beverly Hills, and stuff. I don't watch none of those, so I don't know the logistics. But if they did fight in their shows, I would not be here for that either. Let you be known, I'm not here for no fighting. I haven't been to fight since I was middle school. I don't care about this. Yes, you might have arguments with people, but when you get to putting hands on people, that's taken to the whole new level, and I don't like it. I don't care for it, whether the person's doing it or not. Yes, words have powerfulness to it. Yes, I do understand that. So I'm not knocking that. But at the same time, the show was built on reading, shading, and coming at each other. Sometimes sometimes they get below the belt, which is too much. But they don't make it physical. This season, you could tell it was not much going on with the season, and they glorified and they centered the whole season based on this fight. It was tension building to the fight, and then after that, it's all been the fight, and the reaction and aftermath. Understand it. As a viewer, we seen it as a week and week and week. It was getting tired of it. But I could imagine what they was going to do being filming this and continuing to film this while all this is going on, while this lawsuit was happening, while Monique was lying to the blogs and spilled her name on it. Y'all don't understand. Doing the filming after that fight, this fight happened in October of last year. October 19th, that's the exact date she said it happened. The fact that it happened that day, and 2 days later it got to the blogs blaming Candace for the fight, that it didn't even necessarily happen that way. Monique started the fight, but the blogs made it seem like it was Candace. That Candace fought that started the fight, that we all see them footage, and that's not what happened. It was like, whoa. And then we see the has a lead up to the fight where Candace has been avoiding Monique as most possible can. Monique has been coming at the Candace, but everybody started to took that away. Nobody was a can about that. Nobody mentioned that how Monique has been coming at the Candace this whole season. But everybody looking at Candace said, oh, Candace is the most vicious one. She got the most violent mouth. No, Ashley has the most violent mouth. But nobody popped her. Ashley had the most mouth, but nobody said anything. Nobody mentioned, since I've been watching season 1 to now, nobody mentioned that, oh, well, Ashley didn't get popped. Ashley's all men in the business. Somebody get her. Yes, they were saying that, but nobody goes to the extent that, oh, a fight could happen. This season had this one little incident and one fight, and then they made it seem like this whole seasons of episodes of Potomac was Love and Hip Hop ish, which it haven't been. So Candace did that night was exactly what they normally done. So it was nothing that happened that night that warranted anything. I will stand by it. I don't care what nobody say. You could be a Monique stand. That's on you. That's fine. I'm not arguing with nobody. But I'm letting you know that nothing she did warranted. The only people could say, oh, because she said drag me. She could say drag me. She provoking Monique. She was provoking Monique. No, I won't mention stuff that Monique said that made me realize that her fight Candace was nothing that Candace did. It was something that she was dealing with all her life. And then she projected that on Candace that night. It just came out in an inopportune moment. It could have been Candace, it could have been anybody else, but it was just Candace. So she projected that on Candace based on how she grew up. And I realized that she didn't fought Candace because of her mouth. She didn't fought Candace because she had to defend herself. She didn't fought Candace because she felt threatened. That's all the stuff that she was saying in all these blogs and stuff going on. She didn't fight Candace because a drink was thrown at her or she got pushed. Nothing like that. She could fought Candace because how she grew up. That's how she fought Candace. And she took her anger out on Candace that night because all her feelings that was coming out. Okay? And it's just tip a point. It just happened at that night. That's what it did. So stuff happened this episode. I'm brush through it, and I'm gonna talk about the incident, and I'm gonna talk about how my feelings about this season and next season, all that stuff. Um, I've been talking about my feelings. I'm gonna talk about how I feel about coming next season. Karen is going to Florida because she gonna promote her fragrance line in HSN. HSN. That's a big accomplishment. It's very thing. HSN is that live television show that you can promote your products and people watch it. They can call in and they order the products and everything. Karen looked nice. She did a good job. I'm happy for her. I'm happy that her business, her fragrance line is going well. Maybe I should buy that for my mother for her birthday coming up. And see how that goes. I'm happy for her. I'm very happy for her. Now, she explained the time-wise situation. Because last episode, it made it seem like that Cameron was trying to set them up. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, it didn't seem that way. And when the fact that Candace brought up that Cameron asked him to come early, same time Monique was trying to come. So they could cross paths. And when Ashley said her mouth about, oh, Monique did not know you was coming early, but she wanted Monique to speak her ground. And made it seem like Cameron wanted to come together. But the fact how the incident happened and she both their friends, she did not want them to cross paths. And I don't think production would even want them to cross paths. So I understand that. So she showed a text message that said that she wanted Monique to come at 4. Right? Because I think she having a hard opening on something at 5 o'clock. She wanted Monique to come at 4. But Monique said she was going to be there at 4:30. So she came later than what she expected. Now, Cameron called Candace and told her what time she wanted to be there. Candace asked her what time you want to be there. She said 5:15 to 5:30. So if Monique was trying to come at 4 o'clock, if she came at 4 o'clock, she probably would have been gone by 5, and then Candace could be there at 5:15 to 5:30. So when Monique came late, and then Candace texted her and said, Cameron, what time you want to be there? Double check. She said 6:30. So it won't overlap with each other. And they did miss each other. That's why Cameron was trying to rush that out. So because Monique came late, and then it was close to freaking Candace to come, and the producer said that Monique came later than she expected to, so she only had a little bit on time. And then when they got her out, Candace came like 10 minutes or something later. So it was close. That's why they was rushing her out. So I understand it. It did seem like there was too much of a coincidence to get close together and to meet. But I guess with production and everything was going on, and they was not going to try to have them meet up anyway. Because they didn't solve. There's a legal case coming up, all that stuff. So, granted, it is what it is. That happened. Robyn and Juan went to therapy. And they could have been went to therapy, but Juan was not having it because he felt like he didn't want nobody telling him what to do. Which, therapy, that's not how therapy works. You talk to the therapist and you tell them how you feel. Or he don't want nobody telling him how he should feel. No, you tell them how you feel. And they ask you questions to clarify, to go deeper to how you feel. So they don't put nothing words in your mouth. You tell them, and then they clarify, and they reiterate, and they try to get you to understand exactly your meat of what you're saying. So I feel it's that how, I don't know, I feel like Juan is feel obligated to be with Robyn because at the time when he was young, he was in high school, his parents died right after each other, close by, and Robyn family took him in, and then they grow up. They have 2 boys that was close to together. He's in basketball. He was playing NBA. He wasn't around as much. Robyn had his kid, and he was very present at the time. So they both was lacking in some ways in an aspect of the marriage. So Robyn decided to initiate divorce. She didn't care what he was doing. She didn't care about none of that stuff, but you went divorced and now you want to get married again. So what was the point of you going to divorce it? Why divorce him if you didn't even care? You just could have let it be, continue being married. You didn't have to get divorced and then come back together, but you pushing hard to come back with him now. But I guess she sees that he growing and he wasn't young, he's not dumb, because he said he stepped out. No, he said that he wasn't getting at home, and the fact that so he had an emotional affair with somebody else and intimacy and affection. It wasn't sex, but it was more the emotionalness with somebody else. And that led to the breakdown in the relationship. They both had handled it and divorced. And Robyn initiated divorce. But now it's come full circle. It come back to where he's better in better space in his life, and he's doing good. Robyn's in a better space. She accepted him more and stuff, even though the financial issues they had, they got them together and they go grow. So I feel like he felt obligated at the beginning to be with her, but now I feel like he has a chance to grow and realize that Robyn has been there for him. Thinking then he had to grow up some more and realize probably Robyn is the one, and that's that. So we'll see, and we know he's proposing in this episode. Now, Ashley and Michael was talking in the house. They gave baby Dean 5 months baby pictures. He looks so cute, adorable. Looks just like Michael, but is a cute baby. Okay, and they talking, and they have a sit down, and they talk about the party, and you see like Michael have always had hateful words with women. Every woman I mentioned, he has something bad to say. I mean, he do like Monique and Chris. But other than that, any other woman, he got something to say about them. He don't really care for them. So, do you notice that how Ashley speak about another female, he had something to say about them. But with another man, he got all praises, especially Juan. That's his ace boo coon. Whatever reason, he just loved Juan. So, when Ashley mentioned that Giselle told her that Juan is what proposed to Robyn, he was like, "Oh, that's not gonna happen. I know something." And Ashley trying to get him to tell her, and he would not tell her anything. Oh, that's not gonna happen. I know some things. It's not possible. That's not gonna work. Maybe Juan didn't tell him, so he thinking that it's not gonna happen, but or he knows something that Juan said that maybe he was upset and something like that, and he didn't want to tell Ashley. But my thing is that probably Juan didn't tell Michael it, because he probably don't want Michael to spread around saying it on rude surprise, because he's disdain for some of these women. So he probably didn't tell Michael that part of it. So maybe that's what he was thinking, that Juan not gonna do it. He's not, maybe not. He's not gonna. He was adamant that Juan's not gonna propose at the night of the holiday party. So Robyn and Juan decided to throw the holiday party. Every year they throw one, and they invite their close family friends. It's like a party of 50 people and stuff. Robyn asked Candace to sing at her party, "I See You" remix. That was cute. And she did not invite Monique. I would say, okay. I mean, it's still crazy. Now, before I get to the party, this is all I say about what Monique said. Monique had a therapy session with Ether, the therapist that Ashley recommended her to see. She explained about her feelings, stuff like that how everything was going. Now, she brought up her childhood. Remember, Monique always told us she grew up in the hood. She always said that. She grew up in the hood. This episode, Monique stated that she grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. Not saying that a predominantly white neighborhood can be hood. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that she said she grew up in the hood. That was her whole stick to her personality, to her upbringing. She said she grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. She was well off. She said she was doing a predominantly white neighborhood. And in that neighborhood, the white people, they want to play with her because she was dark. Dark skin, and this is that type of way. Then I guess she moved, and I guess when she went to middle school, something like that, she went to mostly predominantly black school. But since she talked so proper, a lot of the black kids feel like she was too not black, so they want to play with her. So she always had this sense of proving herself or be accepting by people. Because when she was young in childhood, she was never accepted. She could have been accepted in the white people because she was dark skinned. Now she can't be accepted to the black people because she talked to white, or she talked proper based on what black people feel like you should be black about. And who said being black, you guys talk ebonics? No. Black is black, no matter how you're upbringing. So she felt she couldn't be a fit along. So that's fester and through her life. She's like 30 something years old and never dealt with that. She never dealt being accepted. She never dealt her feeling on being not appreciated by people. So she always felt she had to prove herself for friendship. She had to prove herself for people to like her. So I said that is because Monique was trying to be good gracious to the people in the cast. The Green Eyed Bandits, to a lot of ladies. She was trying to do that. At first, I like Monique because I say, yeah, she's cool, she's down to earth and everything, but I can see that she does try to prove herself and she wants to be accepted. So when this season came about, and then Candace got an odds and everything, it seemed like she was getting to that agreement with the ladies. But when Candace stepped in the scene, it seemed like they were starting like a Candace. So somewhere along that line, it shifted in Monique that she started not to have a good. Yeah, she was planning on being good with friends with Candace. She said she friended Candace because she liked Candace because Candace mentioned that she was a predominantly white. She went grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood and everything, and she was the most only black girl. So she connected with Candace. But all this long time, we never knew you had that upbringing. You always portrayed yourself as something that's a hood girl, but now you wasn't grew up hood. You got into another environment that was probably hood because it was predominantly black, but that's not what you brought up. So the acceptance and being a feeling of alongness is something you have to deal with that. And the fact that Candace was starting getting liked, it seemed like it shifted something in Monique, and now she didn't like that. So I guess she felt rejected. No, that was that. So her sense of belonging, since they didn't even care for her, she always had to prove herself. She never let anybody in, and she had that wall up for all these long ass time. It just led to that. And at the night at the fight, to me, it all makes sense because you feel like you had to prove yourself to be a long game. You had to show yourself. You had to let these girls like you. So what way would they? You thought it could like you because Candace was clowning around. She wasn't serious about fighting you. She was not trying to fight you. That's why I was feel like why everybody make it seem like Candace was a broken. She was wanting to have a fight. No, doesn't matter. Even though she say drag me another days at work. If somebody in your work tell you to punch them and fight them, you will do it. So you will get immediate fight. They don't care what they say. So all that dragging me was not necessary because she wasn't being all serious. She was smirking all that stuff. If she was really serious, drag me, Monique. You better drag me. I dare you drag me. All that stuff. And she probably would have been more aggressive, but she wasn't that. So the fact that Candace was making comical things and they was laughing, it triggered something in Monique. Because I said, oh, they liking this lady. They liking her. All that stuff. So what way can I do to get them in my side? Let me fight her. Let me get her. I take all my. She projected Candace of something that she thought she took it back to her childhood. Candace was the person that was a product of how she was growing up. Maybe being a black girl who's not in the same ends with you. You in an all black school and people was accepting you because you was talking proper. Candace is her little girl. They probably didn't accept you the way as you. Well, Candace and you was good friends, but some way along and just stop. But you didn't fight her because of the rumors. You didn't fight for anything else but the energy or whatever you saying at that night. But I feel like you projected your feelings of not being accepted by the other ladies, and they was laughing when Candace was making that common thing. So you decided to get them on your side. You decided to grab Candace's hair, beat her up, flip her hair, all that stuff, because you want them on your side. But that didn't happen. And now you feel like you're being isolated by the ladies because you feel like they trying to ice you out. But I feel like in the beginning of the season, you were trying to get Candace in the odds out. Had everybody going after her because what she did, invited Sharice at the party, but she didn't even know your attention with your Sharice. She conflicted because you was having pictures with Sharice. Being friendly buddy. So I feel like Monique projected her a lot of feelings of her childhood on that night and why she fought more on Candace. It wasn't because she felt threatened. Now, she said in the confessional, they said, do you feel remorseful after you mentioned your story of fighting Candace? She said she remorse of her actions of that night, but she's not remorseful or sorry of her defending herself. What you was defending yourself for? You felt like Candace was marking you? No, Candace said, oh, I'm bored, going to good night, sleep, I'm sleep. Oh my gosh, you know what, listen to me. It's like, it was comical. But you took Candace and brought her down to your childhood, and you didn't feel like Candace was attacking you or making fun of you, or basically what you had been fun of when you was younger. And you took her daughter's notch and said, hold up. She's your target, she making fun of me, let me get her. And that's exactly how you did it. That's exactly how you did it. I don't care what nobody say. She felt that night of her upbringing came at her, and she reflected that night, and she went back to her childhood, and that's why she always felt like she got to defend herself. She always felt like she got to defend herself. So, okay, that's nice and dandy. But if you feel threatened, that wasn't a threat. You had a whole table between you. She wasn't threatening you. Robyn got in your face, directly in your face. Who's someone you should have had popped because she reminded you more of your childhood when you grew up. You said the white people was accepting you. So Robyn was more of the white on the people that you growing up who looked like it. You could have fought her, but you didn't fight her. So in some way, shape, or form, you kind of got somewhat jealous of Monique, no, of Candace. I said somewhat, and you projected your feelings on her because you felt rejected by other ladies. So you decided to take it out of Candace. That's how my take on it. I know people might say, "Oh, nah. Y'all just hate Candace," because at the end of the day, yes, Candace has stuff she needs to work on. Yes, she does. I'm going to say this. Candace does have stuff she needs to work on. She does need to work on not responding to everyone. She needs to learn to read the room. She needs to learn not to respond to everyone. Because some people will bait her, and then when she responds back, as "Oh my gosh, Candace, this. She said this." Candace, you got to know that people are trying to bait you to respond. So exactly, to a mature person, will not respond to everything. Will not respond to everything people might say to you. So what you have to learn is mature enough to not respond and not get there, because some way, shape, or form, people will always go use your mouth as a weapon to fight against you. They say, "Oh, her mouth." Even though after you coming after her and she coming back after you, but y'all always saying she playing victim. No, she's just saying what it is. But that fight should not happen, and I do agree with Candace that Monique shouldn't have fight her because you never get a clear reason. But now I feel like you fought her because you projected your childhood on her, and you just took your rage out of her because something you had never dealt with growing up. All right, so the night at the party, Robert's engagement party. Michael said he was not going to drink. He was drinking Coronas, all right, but he promised Ashley he's not going to really take a hard liquor drink because of what happened in the past, of him saying things and doing things that got him in questionable, got him in trouble. He said he was not going to do that. Now, Karen said she's going to be late because she had a mechanical powers flying and all that stuff. So they thinking, oh, Karen's not going to come because she don't want to face us. So she knows she was wrong to try to set Monique and Candace up. I said that in the beginning, how they explain that. Now, Candace performed her song. It was musical difficulty. She started a cappella. She didn't sound bad. They was trying to shade her. I was like, gosh, y'all really don't care for Candace. I like Candace. She sang and then she came on. They was good. Now, Juan finally proposed. Everybody was happy, especially Wendy. Wendy was on. Said, like I said, well, Wendy, you was more hype than everybody else. You would think Giselle would be the most hype one, but no, Wendy was the most one. She was in the frame. She was like, oh my god! And Candace was hyped too, but Wendy was the on one. So Giselle said, back up, back up. Now, this is how everything happened. Now I saw the clip. Exactly, everybody blamed Candace. It was just like, wow. And actually, it was the Darbys that started this. The Darbys started this, but nobody cared about the Darbys. Because I guess they expect the Darbys to do this. They expect the Darbys to be messy ones. So they not having no high expectation, whatever this is. But everything that Candace does is always wrong. It is what it is. Like I said, I like Monique. I like Candace. It is what it is. But at the same time, I'm disappointed what Monique did. And everybody make it seem like Candace should not feel the way she feels. She filming at the same time. People been lied to. People coming after her doing social media. All this while she's still filming. And she can't escape it because she had to do her job. And she had to be on social media. She had to look at this stuff because that's part of her job. Social media is part of her platform, how she make her money with her shows that she's doing. So, come on now. All that, and then he lied to, and the people coming after you, and no, that's not the truth. It's still coming after you because they don't like you. And it was like, come on. So they sat down. It was a party. It was loud. Oh, mind you, Sharice was there. Sharice was there. You see her full face. They ain't blocked her out. She was there. And she went about her business. She was talking to some of the guys. Now, Candace, Karen, Giselle, Ashley, and Robyn was all sitting down with Wendy. and Wendy was there. Sharice was there for a little bit, but she got up and walked out and walked to the bar. They was talking, and they talked about that night and how all that stuff she was not trying to set up. Granted, it was a loud party. Nobody really minded that Candace was a little loud. Yes, Candace was a little loud, but nobody really minded it. But somehow it bothered Michael so much that he went to Chris, Candace's husband, and tell Chris to control your wife. Your wife can control you. So how you gonna tell another man to control your wife? I wish somebody would to tell my husband to control me, and they gonna actually control me. They were a big cursing out. What female's gonna allow another man to tell their husband to control you when you having a girl sit down, when you on a platform, and we all know y'all can get loud at times, and nobody minding y'all being loud. They're watchers, but nobody mind you being loud as long as you don't get no physical. So for Michael to bring his freaking drunk behind to go all the way to Chris behind and tell him to control your wife, and then he was tapping Chris. Everybody make it seem like Chris was touching him. No, he was tapping Chris, and Chris said, "Get the back up for me, Michael," because you know Michael don't care for Chris. He don't like Chris. So why you gonna go over there and tell him to control his wife? So when that happened, Michael told him to shut the F up and let me talk to you. And Chris turned around and said, "What?" And put his hand, he didn't push Michael. Michael made it seem like he got pushed. He put his hand right there and turned him back up. Michael was walking backwards while he was walking forwards. And he had his hand lightly on his stomach. It wasn't pushing him. He didn't push him. He didn't fight him. He didn't touch him. All that stuff. Walking backwards. And he said, "Oh, you touching me? You touching me? You touching me? You touching me?" And he didn't even do much to you. So they separated both ways. Michael was over there. Chris was over here. Candace saw what's going on. Ashley saw what's going on. They went to their husbands. Candace say nothing to them. She said, "What's going on?" She said, "Oh, whatever about them." It was talking to them. It was not loud enough for they see them. It was like the whole little side comment. So they was talking in their own bubble. Michael lying and said, "Oh, he pushed me. He did this. He pushed me. He put his hands on me. He pushed me." And something. Ashley said, "Who? He said, "Chris, the one with the bald head and no restaurant, no career, and all that stuff." So Ashley started going ham on Chris. And she said, "Oh, Monique got no self-control? Monique got self-control? What do you have? You know, you crying, what if somebody put your hands on your wife who being fooled?" So Ashley said, Candace said, "Who you talking to? What's going on?" I say, "Nah, I would be Candace too. Nobody gonna be talking to my husband, not especially no female talking to my husband any type of way. And I'm sitting right there. No, you want to talk to him, you talk to me. Just like you want the man to handle the situation, you, woman to woman, we handle each other. So don't talk to my husband any type of way if I'm right there." So who you talking to? Ashley was talking to him. Thing. So Michael and Ashley started walking to that side. Candace and Chris was standing stationary. They wasn't moving towards them, but Darbys moving towards them. But somehow it's the Bassett's fault. Okay. All that stuff. So Michael started getting crazy, getting belligerent. And Candace said, "I dare you trying to touch me. You trying to touch me." She said, "Touch me, I'll put you in the jail." She said, "Do it." All that stuff. They walked away. Cameron and Ray got out. She said, "This is too much. Come on, we gotta stop doing this and everything." Candace and Chris left. They was in the car. They're good. Michael was on one because before this happening, when Juan proposed, it sounded like Michael was in his feelings. I don't know what was going on, but he started throwing them drinks back and all that stuff and saying, "Oh, this is wicked," and all that. So he was doing drinking, hard liquor. Actually, he told Ashley he's not gonna do that. He told her he was not gonna drink, but he started drinking anyway, and he was doing the most. He was going on with production. They were telling him doing their job. Ashley was getting embarrassed because he was doing off one. Juan had to stop him 1 minute. He said, "Get off me. You going to jail. You going to jail. Oh, this is that. Oh, this is that." He was going crazy. And then got in the back room. Ashley embarrassed. Robyn and everything was dancing. Robyn's getting down with the dancing. Robyn saying, "Woo." Well, I was like, "You better go, Robyn," in your party. Don't even pay attention with Darby's drama. Michael's in the back room of the production. Touching the production, say, "Get off of me, get off of me." Ashley trying to stop me. You get off of me too. All that stuff. It was doing much. Ashley said, "You embarrassing me. Stop. You embarrassing me. What you doing? What's you doing?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." He's outside. You want Chris to control his wife, but your wife can control you. You was all over the place. Going at production, yelling at production, pushing production back. And he said they're doing their job, but what? But yet, everything is about Bassett's fault. Everything is Candace's fault. But the Michael was doing the most. But nobody said anything. Everybody defended Michael. but Candace is the fault of it. Okay, whatever. I don't care what nobody say. That's messed up. That's messed up. Yes, Candace was loud. I do give her that. She was loud, but nobody minded her being loud. So Michael made an issue about it. Nobody saying nothing. Everybody was in the party having a good time. Yes, Candace was loud, but nobody saying anything about that until Michael came up to Chris and it started this whole fiasco. So tell me, how does Candace fault? How? What make your business to go over to Chris to tell him to control his wife? Like I wish my old husband would to try to control me when I'm up here having a little argument with someone or even heated discussion, whatever. That's the job. We get loud with each other on camera. That's what it is. So that's how I feel. I think Andy mentioned that no one's getting fired because everybody making it seem like Candace will get fired, Monique will get fired. If Monique get demoted to a friend of the show, I don't blame them because fighting someone with no remorse. And then she was like, she said that, and then when they mentioned the case, she said, "Oh, this is a Gus case and everything. It made it seem like so foolish and everything's all dropping. It made like it's all good." I said, "Why you laughing, girl?" And she was like, Monique was crying 1 minute, crying on cue. She cries. Monique cries too a lot too when she needs in a hot seat or she was trying to get things on. Just like y'all said, Candace cried a lot. Monique cried at dropping dropping the dime as well. And she was using the crying 1 minute, and then she was like, "Oh, this is that, glorifying this, being happy, laughing about it, all that stuff." I was like, it's like, it seems like she's really not that remorseful at all about what happened. At all. So we'll say it was reunion, but at the same time, it feel like she really didn't care. Because at that time, the cases got dropped. So now the cases got dropped, she's going back to, "I don't care. It is what it is. I defended myself. I did this. I did that." Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, if next season happen and Monique fights someone else and it's not Candace, I want you to have the same energy you have for Monique. Excuse her behavior. I want you to have the same energy. And y'all can't blame Candace for this now. It's Monique. Monique is on one. She needs to deal with herself. Just like Candace got stuff to grow up and do something, Monique had some growing up to do as well. They both need some growing up to do. That fight should never happen. Monique should never took it physical. Yes, you should never be caught, but at the same time, your action has consequences, and that's what's the consequences of your action. But next season, I hope they don't talk about this fight at all. Let it happen in the reunion. Let it end it at the reunion. But I hope they do not talk about this fight at all. And I will be done with this. I'll be tired, and I will be like, whatever. Whatever. I just stick with Salt Lake City if they go back with this thing next season. Because I could sworn to me they're going to try to leverage this and hold this up to next season. And I can't deal with that. All right, please. And they had an end scene of what they recap of everyone else. Ray went to move to Florida. I guess he's going to retire. Candace and Chris is strong working on the family. And she said something I ain't like, but I ain't taking offense to it. She said she don't want an Aquarius baby because they're crazy because her mom is Aquarius. I said, oh, that's why. She don't want Aquarius. But I said, I'm Aquarius and I'm not crazy, but I'm not going to take offense. But I know someone online said, I can't believe she said that. But people always loop-wise horoscope. Oh, you a Scorpio? Oh, I know about Scorpios. I know. People always say that. So it is what it is. I ain't took offense to it. But I was like, oh, my Candace, why you going to try and say that? But it's all right. And Robyn's working on with Juan. They're good and all that stuff. Ashley always say her relationship is stronger than ever. They're working on baby number 2. Giselle and Jamal is good with the relationship. Say the daughters is in one. I said, y'all is a damn lie. Your daughters is not even cool with it. But that's what it is. And they're not moving in together anytime soon. And that's it. Wendy is working on a political career. Her mom is okay with it, proud of her, but she still wants her to teach to be bragging rights. And if I miss anybody, that's it. I'll be a cool anymore. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel. I know this is long, but this is the finale, and I had to say everything I need to say. But I did watch the after show as well. I might probably not be on Instagram live talk, okay? But subscribe, like, comment to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about the season finale. How you about this so far? How about the review? And I'll talk to y'all later.